Jai Hind and good afternoon to all. Today we are here for the Faculty Development Program, a webinar on Google Classroom as an ICT tool. I am Dr. Abhay, and today I will be joined with Supratim Sahaji from SITE College, as well as Dr. Sanjeev Tyagiji from SITE for this webinar. All three of us will be discussing about the use of Google Classroom. As we all know, online classes and the online platforms for conducting classes, as well as sharing the information with students, especially the study material. Google Classroom is one of the best methods we have, and it is wonderful tool, as well as it is freely available also. Now this tool, ICT tool, that is Google Classroom, can be used very efficiently for various options for sharing the content, as well as conducting quizzes, conducting internal assessment exams through form-based questionnaires, as well as MCQs. So what we can do is what I am going to do is today give you the overall feel of the software or the Google Classroom setup, what is available. I'm just going to share my screen now, and we will begin with the actual information related to Google Classroom. Now, how can we access Google Classroom, and what are the things required to be done before starting a Google Classroom? The first and foremost thing we have to remember is Google Classroom requires a Google account, any Gmail account or Google account, what is known as the, some more of them are coming right now, just one second. So Google Classroom requires a Google account in Gmail. I mean, what we commonly know as Gmail or Google account is very important to log into this app. The Google Classroom can be accessed by the teacher and student, and both teacher and student should have a Google account. Otherwise, it will not be possible for them to access. First thing is that. The second thing is how one can reach Google Classroom. First thing is we can search it in any search websites like google.com or bing.com. We can search Google Classroom. Once we put this classroom, the link is available as Google Classroom, which can be clicked, and directly we will enter the Google Classroom setup. That is one way of doing that. Now, the second way of doing that is through your Gmail account or any Google signed in account. You have, as you can see on the right hand side, there is a 9-dot Google Apps tab. So when you scroll down, you can see all the Google features which are available, and one of that is Google Classroom. You can see the mouse on the right side of the screen. This is the Google Classroom link where you can directly enter into the Google Classroom. So that is the second way. And the third way is directly open a new tab, and you can directly type in the browser classroom, CASSROOM.GOOGLE, google.com, and press enter. Once you do that, it will directly go to the Google Classroom. Now, when we go to the Google Classroom, I will show you the overall look and feel of Google Classroom. We have the Google Classroom logo here, as well as a menu here where you can set your classes. These are a few dummy classes which I have created here, like BA1, BNYS all, many classes like that. You can, for separate classes, you can incorporate separate classrooms. Now that is the menu part here. As you can see, the settings are also available here. And then you have a plus button here. Now this plus button is for either joining a class or creating a class. So a student will join the class and the teacher can create a class. So once the student clicks on join the class, he will be entering into the classroom with a code provided by his teacher. The next thing what we have to know here is what are these classes. Once we click on classes here, we can create a class by clicking on create class. It will ask for a disclaimer. So I have read and understood. We can continue that. And once we continue, we can create a new class. For example, I'm going to create a new class for MBBS. Now, if we have a section, we can make it as section, or we can write the year 2019. So this is for MBBS 2019 batch, and subject what I am creating now is medicine. We can create a subject. If you want, you can add the room, or you can just leave it, and then we can click on create. Now it starts creating. It will take a little time because it has a lot of features to be incorporated in the classroom. So it will take a little time. Once it does that, you will be seeing a new classroom. As you can see here, the MBBS 2019 batch classroom is on. Now, if we click this arrow here, we will see that the subject is medicine. This is the classroom for MBBS 2019 batch, and this classroom has a class code that is, as you can see here, TN5DMRS. Now this class code is the most important thing which you will have to share with your students. If you share this class code with your students, those students will be able to access, only these students with whom you share this code will be able to access the classroom what you have created. And once you share this, there are two ways of sharing or entering the student into the class. Either you share this code, or you can click on people. In the people tab here above, you can add teachers also for this subject. Let's say I have taken this classroom as MBBS 2019, as you can see, and this is the classroom for medicine subject. So if you want to add another teacher, then you can just click on invite teachers, and you can invite the teacher through a Gmail account. But this is usually not required because individually we will be doing the classroom is better set up by doing individually. If for an institution or a department, the whole classroom setup is required to be in one setup itself, then these teachers can be added. Otherwise, it is always better to have individual classroom setup. Now, next thing is adding the students. Now, adding the students is again very simple. You can just click on add the students. You can type a name or email. For example, whatever the email should have been added, or you can also type in, for example, abc@gmail.com. Okay, it will show the email. Now this person is added, and you can invite. Now the invitation will go. It will, if it is a valid email, it will accept the person into this classroom. Now, as you can see, abc@gmail.com is invited. Until he responds, this will be not responsive here. But if we once the classroom, he enters the classroom, then it will become active. If we don't want this, we can also delete this person, remove this person, from the student section. Now, other than this, this is one method of making the student enter into the class, or as I showed you in the first stream tab, the classroom code is available. The classroom code, you can see my cursor here. The classroom code TN5DMRS should be shared. Whoever has this classroom code can enter this classroom. That is my classroom, what I have created for MBBS 2019 and subject medicine, can be entered by anybody who enters this code by, as in the beginning I had shown you, that there is a plus mark on the right hand side where you can either join a class or create a class. Now, if one joins the class with this code, he will be able to see all the communications what you have done in the Google Classroom. Now, the next important thing, so what we have learned so far is creating a classroom, in how to enter a Google Classroom, and once you enter, how to create a classroom, and after creating a classroom, we can share this code or enter the students or make the students be able to see these items which we have posted in the Google Classroom. Now, the other features of Google Classroom again are classwork. When we click on Classroom, there is a create button here, a Google Calendar here, and class drive folder. See, every Gmail account is associated with a drive folder. So we can store the files, whatever we have uploaded in Google Classroom, in the Google Drive folder. The Google Calendar is a very important way of scheduling the classes and let the people know what classes have been scheduled and what classes are there, what classes are going to be there, this topic and all that. So when we click on Google Calendar, you can set like any calendars we set. So Google Calendar will just open up, and then you can select a date and time and assign the necessary things. Now, in the classroom, classwork again, there is a create button. There are many options to create, like assignment, quiz assignment, question, material, reuse post, and topic. Now, the details of these individual things will be explained to you by Dr. Sanjeev Tyagi and Supratim Sahaji. And the assignment, what we want to give to students, can be assigned from here. The quiz is also a very important tool where we can use quizzes to the students, as well as they can be MCQ type of questions, which will have 4 options or fill in the blanks or any of that sort. It is also a very good tool for creating an internal assessment test, that sort of thing. And an open question can be given, which will be shown to you later. Material can be posted, and if you have already posted an assignment or a question or a material, you can reuse that post. You can reassign the students to do the same topic again if you want them to be repeated. Now, even a topic can be given here, and these things will be explained to you later. Now, the other things we have already seen with the people adding teachers and students here, and as well as we have the grade section. Now, in the grade section, of course, I have not created any grade system here, so it is not seen. We can, depending on the what work you are giving, that is, we have created an assignment or a quiz or that sort of thing, we can also assign the grades for an individual. That will be explained to you later by Dr. Sanjeev Tyagi ji, which you will be able to see. Now, other things what are available in Google Classroom here are the settings tab here. When you go to the settings, see, the class details will be shown to you. The class code will be shown. Now, this class code can be reset, it can be disabled, or it can be copied, and also it can be displayed. In the stream, again, students can post and comment or not, that setting. If you don't want the students to comment, then you can click on only teachers can post or comment, or you can also see that students can only comment. They cannot post anything, but they can only comment. And the first option is students can post and comment also. So depending on your need, you can set these settings here. Now, classwork on the stream. Now, on the stream show condensed notifications, whether you want full notification, hide notification, or show attachment and details to the student. This is how you can set the various general options or settings in the. And also, if you want, see, for example, you have given an assignment and now you want to delete that assignment. You deleted the assignment. If you want to see that later, what you have deleted, then you can on this button here and save. Click on save. Now I'm not going to do that right now, but just I'm showing you the features. The grading section here, now grade calculation, you can set the overall grade here in the setting itself, the total points, and weighted by what weight, that is weighted by category or total points, or no overall grade. This setting can be done here. So whether the overall grade has to be shown to the students or not can be clicked here. We can on it once you set the grades here, grade type. If you say total points, then you can make it on, that is whether we have to show the overall grades or not. And we can add the grade categories. If we click on add grade categories, the default points, how much you want, how many points you want, and what is the type of grade category can be set here. These are a few features from the settings here. We'll go back now to the main interface, user interface of Google Classroom. As you can see here, the other parts of this Google Class, also you can access other apps of Google from here also, Google Classroom. Like we began the classroom with the by clicking on Google Classroom here. So we can access other things like Google Forms, Google Docs, or whatever we require from here itself. Now, the other features is, if you click on this button here, this is the reuse button. So it will show what assignments have been given, whether, and also the various classes created, who are the teachers, and what assignments were created. Presently there are, so we have created a classroom today. First, we learned what is the requirement of entering into Google Classroom, what are the features of Google Classroom, and later, also one more thing is very important, which I would like to tell you, that is we can also teach the special needs children, that is either blind or who have diminished vision, with a Google screen reader. So I hope I have made the look and feel of Google Classroom very clear. This is the overall look and feel of Google Classroom software. What we see, as you can see now in the classes, the new class has been added, that is MBBS 2019. Before there were only BA1, BA1, BNYS. You could have seen only 4. The 5th classroom MBBS is created. And when we click on MBBS, we can see the classroom here, and then the rest of the points of the Google Classroom will be explained to you by Supratim Sahaji in the remaining session.
Jai Hind and good afternoon to all. I thank Dr. Abhay Shankar Gwara sir for wonderfully explaining the first and primary stage of creating a Google Classroom. So there are totally 3 stages. I'm going to explain the second stage of the Google Classroom, which is nothing but the materials and the things that we can share with the students as well as all the people who are associated with it. The third stage of the Google Classroom is nothing but the monitoring stage that Dr. Sanjeev Tyagiji will be explaining after a while. So as we can say that the Google Classroom second stage consists of few of the materials and topics and use strategies that has been told to you in the earlier session. So as you can see, I have shared my screen, and you can see the Google Classroom that is visible on the screen. So if I choose one of the classrooms and go inside it, because it has already been shown in the first lecture itself, and we go to the classwork section. As we already know that create section consists of many of the topics. Out of that, I'm going to cover uploading of material, its association with the topics, and reuse post. So let us suppose I need to upload a material for my students. So I click here, and after I click here, I am entitled to give one topic here. For an example, I give the topic of today's India. I'm keeping it generalized, and if I want to give some description, I'm welcome to do it. Here I'm keeping it blank. Now you need to understand, because we started it in the class of CAD by default, so you can see it is already showing the class of CAD by default for the posting purpose. Now I can go ahead and start uploading some material. So I press on the add button, and you can see 4 options. So most popular and the easiest option that 90% of the Google Classroom users are doing nowadays is the offline portion, where the file is already saved in our computer, and that is the file section. The other online options available are, if you are having a link, it can be a Mediafire link or any other web hosting link, or your own links maintained somewhere else. If you are supposed to take it from the Google Drive, we'll come back to that later on. And YouTube links are obviously self-explanatory. So if I want to do it from my system itself, I click on the file button, and then I try to search any material that I want to send or upload in the folder. So I choose one folder of mine and say I choose this sample file and press open. So if I press upload, as you can see on the screen, this will be uploaded in a matter of time. Now, after creating the material in the offline mode, there is the option where I can actually choose if I want to post it in this class or in another class. So I press it here. As you can see, there are various classrooms, from digital communication to principles of communication to basics of electronics. So I can actually choose them one by one if I want to share the same thing with other people. This is not exactly the same as the reuse post. I will come back to that later on. So for an example, I have chosen this classroom by default for the post to go in. I can also select the students whom I want to share the post with. That means I can choose either all students, or I can untick or do as I want. And if I now press the post button, it will post the material right now. However, there are also options like a schedule option. If I click on the schedule option, it will give me an option that although I've created the post right now, I have an option to schedule it at a later stage. This is very useful if you are able to upload it one by one on different days as per the teaching plan, but you have all the materials available with you at one go in your desktop or computer. And if you want to update the post at a later stage, there is also an option of draft. So these are some of the options if we want to post the material section. As I've already declared that this is a second stage option. The other portion of the material is if you want to create live. That means one PPT you want to share, but you are yet to prepare it. So you can press the create button. And for an example, out of all these things, I take the example of slides, and this will open Google Slides. So you can actually go ahead and make a live PPT and then choose to upload it by editing it and preparing it on the go. So this is a way I can add the slides just like the other portions are taken care by Microsoft Office. Okay, now we are going back to the main section, that is create material. So out of the second stage, we have covered up create material. I again press the create button. Now we have topics. So topics can be utilized in a proficient way for both the second stage work as well as the third stage work. I will give you an example. For an example, I want to set a topic named isolators. If I name the topic as isolators, the next time I want to create a topic, maybe isolators is a vast topic and it has 4 to 5 different questions or different subtopics. So if I go to the section of material posting, it will give me an option, as you can see here, that I can find out isolators here, as you can see, and choose this particular topic to be posted within the isolator topic. So this will help and act as a question bank for the students on a particular topic. For an example, the students opens the isolator tag, and within that 4 to 5 different topics will be provided to the students. It is also good for the faculty member, and it is also good for the student to understand and maintain the data. The second portion of this create topic section is if we want to give an assignment. This is a third stage session that Dr. Sanjeev Jagi is going to take, but I will tell you the basic thing that you can also utilize this assignment under a particular topic. For an example, I am giving assignment number 11, and I can actually give the hint to the student that this assignment is associated with the topic of isolators. So it will be easier for them to understand and maintain it properly. The next time also it will be helpful for me that I can understand that whatever assignment I have given is belonging to what topic I have already uploaded on the Google Classroom. So this means that we have come to the third position, that is the reuse post of my session. I click the reuse post, and before I explain how to do it, I would like to tell you that reuse post is nothing but an option that can be utilized by the faculty members year after year or in different semesters as well. For an example, if I have a subject of basics of electronics in first year engineering, and then I'm also teaching electronic devices and circuits in third semester, so the student needs to have some prerequisite to go into the third sem and study that particular subject. So if I've already, say this is CAD of RFMC, so if there is a subject called CAD of 2 in the next semester, so I can use some of the topics which are essential in the advanced subject as well and use it as a whole without re-uploading it for the next class. This can be for other semesters, this can be for other classes, this can be for other year, and it will be very useful. So I take an example of TE mode basics. I click here, I keep it checked so that new copies, separate copy of attachments also come with it. I press the reuse button, and once I press the reuse button, it is going to take me with the attachment, as you can see, with the title. I can now choose it with some other students as well who will be needing it at a later stage, and the other posts and other facilities will work the same way. That means I can actually add some description, I can maybe modify the heading, and then I can post or I can schedule it. So this reuse post is very useful for subjects that are associated with basic subjects preceding them in the earlier year or the earlier semester. Obviously, there can be other options by which we can actually utilize this reused post. For an example, I have a subject and I have taken the class, say on April 6th, and I want the student to repeat it and understand it, and I want to showcase it once again as a repeat section. So I can actually click it and reuse it for the same class in the coming months as well. So these are some of the major benefits of reuse post. So as you can understand, what we have seen till now is that starting from how to search for Google Classroom, how to open a Google Classroom, how to set up a Google Classroom, how to make the students join the Google Classroom. Then we have also seen the process where the students will be exposed to various materials. As we can see here, the second stage that I already mentioned about consists of posting a material. It can be a PPT, it can be a PDF, it can be a Word file, and it can also be video lectures of smaller size. The second portion includes merging and associating a material with a topic so that students can actually be benefited from having a question bank to relate to. They can have a clear idea of the topics and subtopics, and it is also helpful for the faculty members to maintain the class. The other portion that I have discussed about is the reuse post. The reuse post can be used as a technical helping hand as well as for saving some time for the faculty members. When you talk about the technical helping hand, we can relate it with the prerequisite options. That means an advanced subject requiring one particular unit from a basic subject which has been taught in the earlier stages of the semester or the year. So that reuse post can be utilized with attachment for future use in the same class, maybe in the next semester class, or maybe in the class of some other branches. For an example, first semester electronic students will be studying a particular subject. The mechanical students will also be studying the same subject. However, the mechanical students in the third semester will be studying a little bit upgraded version of the subject as a core subject, and they will be helpful. They will be getting some help when this reuse post is utilized properly, so that they can again get the same material maybe in an updated way for the next class. So as you can see, the other portions that are remaining consist of the question, the assignment, and the quiz assignment portion. This includes the gradation purpose, the gradation and monitoring process, which is nothing but the third stage of Google Classroom. So I will be requesting Dr. Sanjeev Tyagi sir for the next session to start these three topics. It is a request to all the members who are attending this session that after this session is ended, you are supposed to wait 10 minutes and re-log in with the same login and password for the next session. I hope this has been informative to you, and thank you for listening. Jai Hind.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Sanjeev Tyagi here. I'm here to explain how to use the assignments, how to create online quizzes. So many things are there which I will discuss here with you. Now, I'm going to share the screen. This is the screen by which I will start here. See, I'm opening here one of the sample class which I have created. This is my sample class in which so many students are already connected. In this, these are the options like stream, classwork, pupil, mark, and how many assignments already I have given. All the list of assignments I will get through the option first I will click on the stream option, then I will click on view all option. See a list of all the assignments which already I have given to my students is displayed here. I will consider here, for example, assignment 7 JSP, because you see in this there is on a screen there is displayed 1 handed in and 6 assigned and 10 marked. It means I have already checked the copies of, I have checked the assignments of 10 students, and 6 have not given their assignments, and 1 is recently given his assignment. He has given assignment late. So how to check the assignments, that I will discuss. See, in this, I will click on the one handed in assignment, because this is recently assignment which I have received on my Google class. And on this assignment is displayed here. This is the name of the student is Mohin Khan. I will click on this. It will display here his assignment, and I will read the assignments here, and see, there is you see on the right hand side of this window, there is one option, mark. According to me, his assignment is his assignments are not appropriately completed, so I'm going to give him 10 marks out of 20. I have inputted here 10, and after giving the marks here, I will click on the return. You know, after giving the marks, it is compulsory to click on the return, because after click on the return, marks will be assigned to the students. And if I want to give any comments, comments to students, like I am giving here, your assignment are not complete. This is the remark. I will click on the post, and then I will click on the return to allot the marks on the students. This is, you know, this is confirming of the return. It means 10 marks are allotted to the students. I will come back to the classes here, and you see there is a list on the left hand side of the window, and so many students are displayed here. Some students are there is displayed a missing. It means these students have not given their assignments, and these are the marks which are allotted to the students after checked by me. Fine. So this is the way of checking the assignments and marking the assignments of the students. Now I will come back to this classes here, and again I will go to the stream and view all, and assignment 7. See, now I want to see, wait a minute. This is the class, this is, you know, these are the marks, total results, how many, this is the screen where all the assignments already which I have given to the students, complete result of total assignments which I have already given to the students have been displayed here. And see, the class average is also displayed here. And see, there are some students showing here missing, means they have not given the assignments, and marks are also displayed, so that we can see the complete information of all the students from here. And now I will discuss how to give the assignment to the students. For this, how to allot the assignment to the students. First, I will click on this classwork. Then I will click on this create option, and there is one option, this assignment, and I will give the title here. You know, this is demo assignment I am giving here. And any instruction if you want to give, we can write any instruction here, like complete it at time, any assignment, any instruction which you want to give to the student, we can write here. Then I will click here, and you see so many options are there: Google Drive, link, file. In this case, I will select the file option because I have already created assignments in a Word file. In a Word file on my computer, already I have prepared the assignment. Just I have to assign this assignment to the students. Now I will click on the file. Then I will click on this option, and it will display browser window, and from this we can go to the drive where I have already created the assignment. I will select, this is the sample file I am selecting here as assignment, which I want to give to the students. Sample file I have selected here. And then I will click on this upload option. See, assignment is uploaded. Now, next thing is, we have to specify so many options which are given on the right hand side. For example, see, this is point. The total point, how many marks are fixed for this assignment is, suppose I have taken this 10, and I have to specify due date here. Just click on this due date, and then click here. You will get the date, and suppose in this case I am giving 24th May, and I will select here 24th May Saturday, and the date is assigned. Up to this date, students have to submit their assignment. After this date, if they submit the assignment, they will be considered as a late assignment. And topic, if I want to specify, then I will click on this create topic option. Create topic option, demo, for demo, yeah, testing. I am writing here, this is testing. These are the options which we have to specify when we want to give the assignments. After this, last option is, assign. I will click on the assign. Then these assignments is that assignment which recently I have created will be, displayed to the login of students. Right now I am not clicked on this assign option. This is the assign option because this is the demonstration. This is I will come to the, this is that's all about how to give the assignments to the students and how to check the assignments. I will come to next topic which I have to discuss. This is creating online quiz. This is, how to take the test, of all the topics which we have discussed with the students with online quiz. So I will come back to my classes options. See, I will click here on this button. I will click on this classes. It will display all the classes which I have created here. Now I will create the online quiz by selecting this option, BTech CSE 4th year. This is my demo class. I have taken this as a tested class to create the online quiz. I have selected this. Now, see, I have to create online quiz. For this, first I will click on this classwork. Then I will click on this create option. Then I will click on quiz assignment. See, this is quiz assignment. It's not assignment, this is quiz assignment. I will click on this quiz assignment. Then I will specify the title here. I am specifying title here, demo quiz. Demo online quiz. This is instruction which I want to give. Now, I have to start creating the quiz. See, you see, this is the blank quiz option here. This is the blank quiz option here. I have to click on this. So I am clicking on this blank quiz. A new screen is displayed now. A new screen is displayed now. And this blank quiz is displayed here. I will change it. I will specify here the name of my subject, the topic of my subject on which I want to create this online quiz. Again, I am taking a demo quiz. Fine. And here is also blank quiz displayed. I will change this also. See, this is also on left hand side top. And this I will also change demo. And other remaining option I will specify here. For example, subject of the on which I am going to take the quiz. Subject is web tech. Okay. Then code of the subject. For example, this is for some NCS 604 and we can specify more option. For example, duration I'm specifying here there's 30 minutes. And total questions, this is, for example, I'm taking here 30. These are the basic information which I am specifying in the title here. Now remember one point: whenever we want to create a quiz for the students, then we have to take the information of students also. For example, name of the student, class of the student, branch of the students. These are the basic information by which we'll acknowledge that is the answer of particular student. So I will specify here. For example, this is the first option. I'm writing here name. It means students will specify name here. And in the right hand side, there is a short answer. I will specify. I will take here. There's so many options are there. In this case, I will take here short answer because only the simple answer has to be. And you see, this is the required. This is compulsory to give the name. So I will click on this required. This is compulsory to specify required button here. Now I want to take this one more option like course, enrollment number, ENR, enroll number. Fine. Again, I will take as a short answer. And here required option is compulsory. These in this way we can specify as many as entries as we want. In this demo, in this example, I am taking only 2 entries for identifying the student. Now I will start specifying the questions for the students. Means questions of online quiz. See, there is a plus button here. You see this plus button. I am clicking. Handle is displayed. I will click on this plus button. Now I will start writing the questions. Number 1 question I am specifying, for example, how. These are the sample question here. How many days? Simple question I am taking. How many days in a year? And you see, for this here, a short answer is already displayed. I will change it. I will take here MCQ, multiple choice. This is multiple choice option. Now options will be displayed. I will specify here the option for this questions. For example, 300 I am giving here. And I will also specify right answer. And this is suppose 200. This is only the sample, so I am giving anything I can give here. Fine. After specifying the option, after specifying the question, now what I have to do, First, I have to click on this required button. Fine. This important step, please remember. And then I will click on this answer key. Then I will go to this option. This will be displayed here. Point. There 0 point is displayed, so I will change it. Suppose the 1 point for one question, or we can increase 2 point per question, or 3 point per question. I am taking in this case 1 point per question. Now remember, please. Now I will bring the cursor to the right answer in the options which I have specified. I will click here. This cursor is displayed. This hand is displayed. I will click on this 365. This is the one of the important thing which we should remember when we are making the quiz. This is now I will click on this 365. It means I have specified the right answer for the Google, that now Google can check which is the right answer. This question specification is complete. Now I will specify more questions. Now I will bring cursor on this plus button. I will click on this plus. Now I will specify one more question. This is question number 2, and I'm specifying how many days. How many days in a week? How many days? This is a simple question just for testing. Fine. How many days in a week? See, again here, this I will select the MCQ, this multiple choice. Now options will be displayed here. I will specify here 6 wrong answer, and 4 and 7 and 2. Okay. After specifying all possible options for this question, remember I will click on this required button. Then I will click on this answer key. Then specify the point here. This point 1 point per question. Now I will bring the cursor to the right answer of this question. This is 7. And now I will click on this done. Fine. So in this way, we can specify questions as many questions we want. The next step is how to save the quiz. So in this case, I have taken 2 questions in this quiz. Now I will come to the option where I will save this quiz. So bring the cursor on this button. See, this cursor is displayed here. This setting, this setting is displayed. I click on this setting button. A new window is displayed here, and this collect email address. If you want to collect the email address of the students at the end of quiz, then we'll click on this. Otherwise, no need to click on this. And when we are allotting this quiz to the students, then this is compulsory to specify limit to 1 response. It means students can give only one response. Student cannot reopen the quiz. Student cannot again give the quiz. So it is compulsory when we are going to allot this quiz to the students, limit 1 to response. These options like edit after submit, these are not normally allowed for the students. Fine. Now I will come to this presentation option. You can specify, you can click on this show progress bar. This progress bar will be displayed when student will do the quiz. So we should, there is no problem in specifying this option, show progress bar. Shuffle question is good option, but shuffle questions we cannot select if we have given the question numbers to questions in the quiz. You know, question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, if we are given, if they are shuffled, then what will happen? Question number 2 will come at the top. So if we want to use this option shuffle, then we should not give the question numbers during the, when we are specifying the question in the quiz. Fine. So shuffle question I will not select here. Now quizzes. Most of the options which are needed for the quiz are already selected. These are okay options. Now I will click on this save option. I will click on this save. It means all the options are saved. This quiz is ready. See. Now one more option is there to beautify your quiz. This is a theme. This, you know, coloring, if you want to specify this you can do with the help of this theme is there. Okay, then apply these themes. These are simple things. Now if you want to if you have changed, you have made some changes in this quiz, again you should save it. Save option again. And now if you want to view this quiz, this eyes is displayed here, preview. You know this option, preview. I have moving my cursor on this option, preview. Fine. Now this quiz is displayed here, and now I'm testing this quiz. This is the name which I am displaying here, inputting here, and I am inputting this enrollment number 111. This is testing enrollment number I am giving here. And answer of this question is this 365, and answer of this question is this 7, and submit and view score. And this is, you know, now important thing is how to check the results of students. This is one of the important options we should remember. For this, a teacher will go to the option. A teacher will go to the option here, back to the edit option here. See, where he was designing the quiz, the teacher will go to this option, and there is response. You see here, question is displayed, and responses, means responses of students are displayed here. You click on these responses. You click on the question, then you will see the questions, and you click on the responses. From these responses, we can see the answers given by all the students in the form of Excel sheet. See, a green button on which cross is displayed here. You click on this. You see, I am moving the hand, this cursor here. You click on this. This window is display. Select response destination. Select response destination. Response destination in this case is Excel sheet. You know, that option is create a new spreadsheet. Spreadsheet means Excel sheet. Create a new spreadsheet. I will click on this create button. See this create button. Select this create new spreadsheet, and then click on this create. Fine. Within a few moments, you will get the Excel sheet, spreadsheet. You will see the answers. You know, this is score of the student. This is name of the student is displayed here, and result and other, even the recorded options are also displayed here. So if 10 students are applying for the quiz, and you will get answers or responses or results of all the students in this Excel sheet. Now question arises. You have given the quiz to the students. All the students are doing their quiz at their home. They can take the help from the Google to solve this quiz. Now I have to bound. It means if I am giving 10 minutes to the students, it means like I have allotted a quiz at 3 p.m. and students have to complete this quiz within 10 minutes. within 10, running out of time, complete होने जा रहे हैं. So I am completing this option. This is, I'm creating one more quiz. See, in the same quiz I am modifying. See, students at 3 p.m. they have to, I have allotted the quiz at 3 up to 3:10. 3:10 means within a 10 minutes they have to complete the quiz. If in 10 minutes quiz is not completed, that quiz will be disabled. This is one of the important option which is have to specify. For this, you see in this screen here add-ons is displayed here. Normally add-ons is not displayed in normal screen. So for this what I will do, you go to this option, you go to these 3 buttons and there you click on add-ins, and you will have to install the option. There is form limiter you will install. In this case I have already installed it. I am showing this button is displayed here, add ons. I will click on this. A form limiter is displayed here, and then set limit. See this window is displayed here. Select option. You see form limiter. This new window will come here. Using this option, we can specify time limit. This is, I will click on this date and time. I will specify the date. For example, I will specify tomorrow's date here, 23. And then I will click on this select time, and I will allot to the student at 3 p.m. through WhatsApp. And student have to complete within 20 minutes. So I will specify here 3:20, and this is 20 minutes and set. And click on this save and enable. Fine. It means this quiz will be disabled on 23rd at 3:20 p.m. Now remove this from the screen and again use the save option and click on the preview options. So now I will come to another option. See, this quiz is prepared ready now. I will come back to the class option. You see here, and now I can assign from here. You see, this is the Google Class where I have started creating the quiz. Now I will click on this assign option, and I have assigned to the students. If you want to give this quiz, last option I am going to explain you. After click on this demo quiz, you can take the link, and this is the link. I click on this URL option and Control C, and this by Control C, you paste it in WhatsApp group of the students, and you can inform to the students that they have to complete up to 3:20 p.m. I think it is enough for online quiz, and this is when we are assigning this quiz to the students. This is the way we can assign this quiz to the WhatsApp group, and this is the way how to stop students seeing the answer of online quiz through when they are sitting at home and quiz is displayed on their mobile, and they find the answer through Google, and even their parents are also helps them to find the answer, so that students should get the maximum marks. This is one of the way to check the answer to restrict the students to complete the quiz on time. Fine. I think this is enough for online quiz. And now anything? Yes. So if you have any difficulty and you can discuss in future, you can inform to the authority. I will discuss again. Thank you very much for cooperating me, for giving the time.
We end this session about Google Classroom as a ICT tool. Thank you very much for participating in this webinar. Thank you all.